World War II did not begin with a single mistake. It did not begin with confusion or accident. It began with years of propaganda, repeated so often that millions stopped questioning it. After World War I, Germany was broken. Its economy collapsed. Its people were angry, hungry, and humiliated. Many Germans were told that the country did not truly lose the war. They were told Germany was betrayed from the inside. They were told outsiders were responsible for their suffering. This story was repeated again and again until it felt true. The treaty that officially ended World War I was the Treaty of Versailles. It forced Germany to accept blame, lose land, limit its army, and pay massive reparations. German leaders used this treaty as proof that the world was unfair. They said Germany was being punished, not for starting war, but for existing. This message created anger. Anger created fear, and fear made people easier to control. Into this environment stepped Adolf Hitler. He did not rise to power by promising war. He rose by promising dignity, unity, and national pride. He said Germany would stand up again. He said Germans would no longer be humiliated. He said enemies were everywhere, hiding in plain sight. This was the first and most important lie. Germany was not preparing for conquest. Germany was defending itself. Every speech, every poster, every radio broadcast repeated the same message. Germany was the victim. Germany was surrounded by enemies. Germany had the right to fight back. Once people believed this, everything else became easier. When Germany began to rearm, it was called self-defense. When Germany rebuilt its army, it was called protection. When Germany broke international rules, it was called survival. Other countries noticed, but they hesitated. They remembered World War I. They feared another global conflict. So they chose compromise instead of confrontation. When Germany took control of Austria, it was described as reunification, not invasion, not conquest. Just Germans joining Germans. When Germany demanded parts of Czechoslovakia, it claimed German-speaking people there were being mistreated. Again, not aggression, just protection. Each step was small. Each step felt justified. Each step was wrapped in propaganda. The world watched and hoped it would stop. It did not. Behind the scenes, propaganda was doing something more dangerous. It was changing how people saw each other. Certain groups were blamed for Germany's problems. They were described as parasites, as criminals, as threats to society. This was not random hate. It was organized messaging. Once people stopped seeing others as human, violence became easier to accept. This propaganda laid the foundation for one of history's greatest crimes. The Holocaust did not begin with death camps. It began with words, with posters, with lies repeated until hatred felt normal. By the late 1930s, Germany was ready for open war. But war still needed a reason. In 1939, Germany staged a fake attack on its own territory. German soldiers dressed as Polish troops attacked a German radio station. This became known as the Gleiwitz incident. Germany announced it had been attacked by Poland. Within hours, German forces invaded Poland. This was the final lie. Not defensive, not accidental. Completely intentional. Other nations now had no choice. Britain and France declared war. World War II had begun. This time it was not confusion, it was calculation. The war spread across Europe, Africa, and Asia. Tens of millions died. Entire cities were destroyed. Families vanished. Nations collapsed. All of it justified by years of propaganda that turned lies into beliefs. World War II shows how dangerous propaganda can be when left unchallenged. Not one big lie, but thousands of small ones. Repeated daily, spoken confidently, never questioned. People did not wake up wanting war, they were taught to accept it. They were taught who to fear, who to blame, and who deserved to suffer. That is the real lesson of World War II. Wars do not always start with gunfire. They often start with words. If you want more history explained in simple English, subscribe to the channel. More stories like this are coming.